guys, gals, non-binary pals, and nerds everywhere. Welcome back to Nerd Explosion, the weekly podcast where based on a monthly theme, I nerd out, but whatever I want. As always, I'm your host, Cameron, and I know I've been promising you guys for, a Reddit month for the past 2 episodes, but, ADHD, so that's just how my brain works. Sometimes I think of other stuff and I hyper-focus on that, and I completely forget about everything else. But I know I've talked about doing a Reddit month, and that's what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do for the rest of this month, I'm going to do Reddit stuff. Starting with today's episode, a good one to go through is r/am I the asshole, because, they're just really interesting stories. So that's what we're going to do today. But before I get into all of that, new episodes of this podcast come out every Saturday, so do all the things that do all the stuff on all the things. But with that being said, let's go through r/am I the asshole. Am I the asshole for refusing to go to my sister-in-law's baby shower after she refused to support me when I had a stillbirth and stole my daughter's name? Oh boy, here we go. Starting off on a good one, probably. 3 months ago, I, 28 female, gave birth to my angel baby, whom I was gonna name Shaban. My husband, Dylan, 30 male, and I were still grieving her loss. We lost her due to preterm premature rupture of membranes, and there was nothing the doctors could do to save her. Oh, this is starting off sad. Anyway, my mother is Irish, and I was going to name my baby after my great auntie. We were so happy, and now we are devastated. My family rallied around us, and so did Dylan's parents, but his sister was a different story. She has been helping Dylan, but has told me I need to get over it. It being in reference to our daughter. My husband's sister, Claire, 34 female, just announced her pregnancy at 20 weeks and had her gender reveal on Instagram. I'm happy for her, but sad at the same time because I never got to meet my daughter. She announced she was going to have a baby shower and sent out invitations last week. When we received the invitation, it said, "Help us welcome our baby, Shaban." Oh my god! Oh no. I can admit I cried looking at the invitation. Claire and my husband's family have no connection to Ireland or the name Shaban. And when my husband asked her why she chose the name, Claire said it sounded pretty, and because we weren't able to use it, she was going to take it first. And to clarify, no, she's not naming her baby after my daughter. Well, she sure seems inspired by it. As much as I want to feel happy for Claire, I just can't. It feels like she's rubbing the fact that my baby is dead in my face, and I RSVP'd no to the invite. She called me on my private number and chewed me out for quote, being a sour bitch, end quote, not being happy for her, and being jealous over nothing. I feel like I should be happy for her, but I just can't. I just want my baby girl, my Shaban. Am I the asshole? Okay, first of all, before I read a comment, first of all, no, you are definitely not. That is bullshit that she's like, oh, I didn't steal the name from your kid. That is bullshit. She 100% did. And she's basically being like, the fact that she's not, like, she hasn't helped you at all, she hasn't acknowledged you throughout this whole thing, because, I mean, yeah, it's nice to support the husband too, but you are the one that, you're the one that lost the baby. So you probably need more support than anybody else. And the fact that she's not pregnant and she's going to name her kid the exact same name you were going to name your kid, that is not a coincidence at all. I think it's bullshit that she's like, oh, I just really like the name. Like, no. That's bullshit. I'm going to read this top comment because there's a lot to this one from Happy Trifler. Not the asshole. Here's how to address this. Send out an email to the entire family about how touched you are that your sister-in-law chose to honor you by naming her daughter after her late cousin. Make it sound positive as fuck. Talk about how much joy you feel knowing your child meant so much to your sister-in-law that she would name her baby after your daughter. Talk about how knowing your niece will carry your daughter's name with her for her entire life makes you and your husband feel so touched by the obvious love sister-in-law and her husband have for you and your daughter. Then just stick with this narrative no matter what. You met a friend of sister-in-law? Tell them how much you love that sister-in-law named her child after your daughter. Mention it to every person that stands still long enough to hear it. Yes, it may be painful to do, but own your daughter's name and make sure everyone knows it was your daughter's name in a way that sister-in-law can't complain about, that sister-in-law cannot complain about without looking like a total bitch. And it will absolutely piss sister-in-law the fuck off. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a way to go about it, but I guess overall, Opie, I would definitely say you're not the asshole because, my God, that is a shitty move to do. I mean, losing a baby is hard enough on a woman, and to have somebody else in your family basically steal the name that you were going to name your child, and, like, I get it. Like, Siobhan is a pretty name, and I'm guessing it's pronounced Siobhan because it's spelled Siobhan, so I've always known that as like Siobhan, or it's something like that. It's an Irish name, I know that. But like, yeah, it is a pretty name, but if somebody already was gonna name their kid that and, you know, something happened in pregnancy and, you know, the kid didn't make it, why would you then, I feel like out of respect, you shouldn't use that same name for your child. So OP is not the asshole here. The sister-in-law is definitely the asshole. I mean, Jesus Christ. Am I the asshole for commenting on my partner's lack of a hairline when he keeps making comments about my weight? Now, this is marked as everyone sucks, and let's just see why. We had a daughter last year, and I've put on about 30 pounds. Now, even though I've gained weight, I don't think I'm fat. My legs have just gotten thicker. Anyways, he keeps making comments saying that I haven't stopped eating since I've gotten pregnant. Yesterday, I was preparing a bottle for our daughter when he said, "Why don't you move out of the way? You don't see you're big." Okay. He tried to play it off after and said he was just talking about my butt. It really hurt my feelings, so I said, "At least a fat person can lose weight, but your hair is never going to grow back." For context, he's 27, but the front of his hair and the middle have thinned out a lot. He's very self-conscious about it to the point that he won't leave the house without a hat, and he'll turn back around if he realizes that he forgot to take it with him. He's been angry at me since I made the comment, but I felt like if he keeps talking about my weight, then I could talk about his hairline. So, am I the asshole? Now, before I give my opinion, OP posted an edit. I see a lot of people in the comments asking if I gained the weight after the pregnancy. It was during the pregnancy. People are also saying I can control my weight and I should be going to the gym. I do work out when I have the time. Finding time to go to the gym is very different for a father than it is for a mother. Yes, I know 2 wrongs don't make a right, and when I calm down, I realize I should have handled it in a better way. Thanks for all the feedback. Like, yeah, I definitely agree with the everyone sucks here thing, because it's like, okay, like, obviously weight is probably like a soft spot for you, but the reaction to somebody, you know, making fun of something you're self-conscious about isn't to then turn around and do the same thing to them. Like, that's just not how you go about it. Like, if he's making fun of your weight, but he's self-conscious about his hairline, you don't then turn around to make fun of something he's self-conscious about just to, you know, just out of spite. So, yeah, that's, I guess, a very easy judgment. Everyone sucks here. Am I the asshole for refusing to babysit my grandkids because I don't want to? I'm in my late 50s, and in general last month with the holiday and then my job being rough, the beginnings of the month, I'm tired. Today, I'm able to take a half day, and this weekend, I plan on doing nothing. This seems to be a problem. I got a call today asking if I could babysit the grandkids tomorrow night. They have to visit her uncle and doesn't want to take the kids to the nursing home. I told my daughter-in-law no, She asked why, and I told her I need to recharge. Daughter-in-law asked if I truly was doing nothing, and I told her yes. This started an argument where she thinks I'm being selfish, and I can easily do this since I'm doing nothing. I told her my answer was, again, no. My son is also mad at me now, and I'm wondering if I should suck it up and babysit. So, this is the thing. This is the thing when you're in your 50s. If you want to take time for yourself, well, just for anyone in general, not just if you're in your 50s, but everyone in general. If you want to take a personal day, take a fucking personal day. You don't have to do anything that anyone tells you on a personal day, especially with the kids. Like if there's no other option, like I can see, like, okay, but this is taking up my time. But, like you said, it sounds like you work hard. So yeah, take the time, just relax, do a spa day, do you, boo-boo. Yeah, I would definitely say not the asshole. Your daughter-in-law just, needs to get her priorities straight. Find a babysitter. Don't just rely on your parents to watch your kids. Because I know whenever me and my wife have kids, if and when we have kids, I'm not going to rely on either parents to watch our kids all the time. Like, I know my mother-in-law offered to babysit. I know my mother would be happy to babysit, but I'm not going to expect them to do it just all the time, especially if they want to take a day to themselves. I can be like, oh, okay, well, let me find somebody else. Maybe I'll call up my sister. Maybe I'll call up, I'll find a babysitter. I'll find somebody I trust. But I'm not going to force somebody when they want to take a personal day to do anything, just to drop everything and do what I want. So, yeah, I would definitely say, OP, you're not the asshole here. Am I the asshole for being pissed that my daughter-in-law won't accommodate my allergies, so I'm not going to her dinner? I'm very frustrated. My son has been married to my daughter-in-law for 3 years now. I've always made extra dishes that didn't include meat to accommodate her. No matter how much it was a pain to do, I always made sure she had options to eat when I hosted or she was over. She's vegetarian and at one point tried to go vegan. My son and her never hosted due to living in a small apartment, but that changed since they just bought a home. They're having dinner this week, and I called her to remind her I'm allergic to nuts. She then informed me that she doesn't have time and to bring me my own food. She told me that she cooks a lot with different nuts and she can't make adjustments to her menu. This is where I might be the jerk. I told her I will not be going, and neither will my husband, that I have accommodated her for years, and not once have I made her bring her own food. This started an argument where she thinks I'm being unreasonable. My husband is on my side, but my son and her are very upset. OP puts in an edit, stop downvoting people who say there are allergies that are not life-threatening. They are correct. My allergy is not life-threatening. If it was going to kill me, I wouldn't be okay with any of the dishes having nuts. I just asked for one that I can eat. I can be at a table with nuts, it's fine. This actually personally annoys me. Allergic reactions are a spectrum from very mild to kill you. Also, for everyone saying allergies get worse every time people have it are incorrect. Some allergies can be improved through exposure therapy, which is usually done at a doctor's. My daughter has literally done that with her shellfish allergy. Yeah, I would definitely say daughter-in-law is the asshole here because you've like you said, for years, you've accommodated her, you've helped her with dishes, and I mean, this is kind of personally getting me mad because my wife is, adjusting her diet and I'm doing, whatever I can to accommodate her because my wife has PCOS and she's doing a thing where she's avoiding red meat, and she talked about recently trying to do like a gluten-free thing, and she's trying to do like a lot of adjustments to stuff, and I'm trying to do whatever I can to accommodate her because obviously I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'm gonna, I want to eat this, and if you don't want to eat this, then you don't eat, blah, 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 blah. Like, and that's the thing she understands too. Like, I'm still gonna eat how I'm gonna eat, but I'm going to do whatever I can to accommodate her and make sure that she, whatever she wants to do for her diet, she gets. So I totally get the accommodating for a diet thing. And it sounds like you've done, you care so much about people's diets and you do whatever you can to accommodate for them. Another personal thing, my parents are really good at accommodating for people because my sister had lived with a friend of hers and she would bring her over sometimes. And I believe she's a vegetarian. I might be wrong on that, but I think she's a vegetarian because she got her one time we were doing burgers and stuff and they made a veggie burger especially for her. So I forget where I'm going with all this, but basically OP sounds like they're doing the best they can to accommodate, and this daughter-in-law refuses to return the favor. And yeah, well, most allergies aren't life-threatening. Like a person with two people with a nut allergy. One of them might be, they eat a nut, they puff up, but they'll be fine. Another person who has a nut allergy could, eat something with a nut and go into, anaphylactic shock. Basically, could almost die. So you really gotta be careful with allergic reactions or allergies and stuff, because you never know. If you don't know somebody personally, you don't know what their reaction is going to be. You don't know if it's going to be something mild or it's going to be life-threatening, but you want to avoid that just altogether. So OP is definitely not the asshole here for, basically accommodating and doing whatever they can to, fit somebody's diet into, their menu. But it sounds like the daughter-in-law isn't willing to do the same, and she's starting an argument with her for being like, well, I can't change my menu. And OP's just like, really? I've changed my menu for you for years and you can't do it once? Yeah, OP, you're definitely not the asshole here. And now our last story for the evening or morning or whenever you're listening to this. Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend that my loyalties lie with my baby brother? My little brother recently moved in with me. It was a huge shock at first. My brother, Will, 17, is female turned male. I, male 34, had no idea he was trans or even questioning his gender. He always seemed perfectly happy as a girl. He was very feminine presenting and all. Turns out he came out to our parents after getting his haircut, and they didn't take it well in the slightest. From what he's told me, he wasn't exactly kicked out, they just started being unbearable. They were calling him Mila in every sentence they said, just to annoy him, I suppose. Mom kept booking him in for appointments to get hair extensions and his lashes done. Our dad didn't let him wear the male uniform to sixth form and so on. I'm guessing OP is probably European or something. I don't know. It got so bad that he literally took a train from down south to up north to ask if he could live with me. Of course, I said yes. The house is big enough to have him live there. There's 4 bedrooms and an attic room. My girlfriend, Nico, 32, was irritated when she found out. We've discussed her moving in before Will came, and now she's telling me that she will not move in until Will leaves. I've explained to her that Will isn't a child we'd have to constantly supervise, that if anything, he's the one making the place more livable. He's very insistent on adding on to the home decor and so on, as well as being better than me at cleaning, and that the house is large enough to still have privacy even with him around. Nico has argued that it's not truly ours if Will is always there, that we won't be able to start trying to conceive, that she's not willing to live with a hormonal and rebellious teenager, and that she's just flat out uncomfortable with Will being near her and living with her and her son, male 10, in the same home. Ultimately, I've told her that my loyalties lie with my baby brother, who is homeless and vulnerable. unlike the grown woman with a good paying job and a home of her own. She's told my mama to complain about it, and she said that I was in the wrong for prioritizing Will, and Will himself said that he doesn't want to be causing problems in my relationship. So, what I think, OP, you are awesome standing up for your sibling like that, especially like, because yeah, you stated in the beginning that your brother was female turned male, and you know they're trans, and came out to your parents, and your parents didn't take it well, so your brother trusted you enough to come to you and basically live with you because they knew that you were a safe space. So for that, I applaud you. Like, my God, you must be, you know, the greatest human being ever. Well, not the greatest human being ever, but we need more people like you in the world. Your girlfriend, on the other hand, Nico, I'm getting she's giving transphobe. No, she definitely sounds, especially like with the comment of her saying that where is it? She's uncomfortable with Will being near her. Like, why? Why are you uncomfortable with Will being near you? The only reason I can imagine is because they're trans. So it sounds to me like your girlfriend might be a transphobe. So, Will, it said here, you said that Will said he doesn't want to be causing problems in my relationship. You need to tell, like, OP, well, first of all, you're not the asshole here. Second of all, you need to reassure your brother that he's not causing problems in the relationship. Your girlfriend is the problem. Like, Will isn't causing the problem. Your girlfriend is the problem. So I would definitely have a talk with your girlfriend as well. And if you can't reach an agreement, then it might be time to, you know, cut that relationship right away. So OP, you're definitely not the asshole. In fact, you are a great human being for, you know, providing a safe space for your brother. And your girlfriend either needs to sort herself out and just get over it, or she needs to get the fuck out. That's what I'm saying. So, OP, you're not the asshole. Alright, with that, I think we're gonna call it an episode. God, I really love doing these Reddit episodes because I can just kick back and just be like, oh, hey, let's see what we got on the feed today, you know? But if you guys want me, if you want to suggest a different subreddit for me to do, let me know on social media. Link is in the link tree in the description, as always. But I think with that, I'm going to call it an episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys do positive things out there. Drink plenty of water. I've been Cameron. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Stay weird, my friends.